Thank you. Joseph, I think that we should be allies for this war.
You think that? Thank you.
Thank you. Toast to Russia.
And Germany.
I have drafted this for you. To you to review the pact, and I want to hear what you think.
The non-aggression pact.
Yes, yes.
So, allies in this war?
Yes, I think so. It could turn the tide.
Seems risky.
I think not. You've seen what I can do. You know the size of my army is it's massive.
As is mine.
It is. Together we could be unstoppable. It's the best plan.
I accept.
Do
Give me
you?
a pen. On August 23rd, 1939, two of the largest political leaders met to discuss. They were Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler. These two men came to discuss the terms of their non-aggression pact, drawn up by Hitler. This was a document that explained the two countries would take no military action against each other for the next 10 years, so long as the pact remained unbroken. Another term of the contract is the mutual division of Poland. Stalin and the Russians were to conquer and take the eastern half, while Hitler and the Nazis were to take the western half. With Europe on the brink of another major war, Soviet leader Joseph Stalin viewed the pact as a way to keep his nation on peaceful terms with Germany, while giving him time to build up the Soviet military. The pact also contained a secret agreement in which the Soviets and Germans agreed how they would later divide up Eastern Europe.
Here we see raw news footage of a Russian reporter getting a tour of a gulag by Stalin himself.
Here is a cell of some prisoners.
Please, give us food. Please, we have nothing.
Keep quiet. You have work in an hour.
Please, sorry.
Pay them no mind.
We got an exclusive interview with one of the prisoners.
Hi, thank you for meeting
Not
with
touch
us.
the prisoner.
What is your name?
Vladimir Volshkovich.
And what is your daily life like?
Well, when we're not working, we live in areas surrounded by barbed wire and guards and watchtowers. There are a few smelly, poor heated barracks, and the life is brutal. Every day I fight others for food and water. This is common. If we survive hunger, disease, and the harsh elements of labor and other prisoners, sometimes we're beaten at the hands of the camp guards. We're always watched, and we're always looking for someone to make a mistake in hope that we can report it to the Gulag authorities in hope of reward.
How much food are you given?
Very little. Size of the rations are dependent on how much work we do. Full ration barely provides us with enough food. If one of us fails our daily quota, we receive less food. We consistently fail, and we eventually starve to death.
Готов? Стоять!
Готов? Прият.
On October 2nd, 1941, the non-aggression pact between German leader Adolf Hitler and Soviet leader Joseph Stalin was broken when Hitler's armies in the east marched into Russia. This invasion lasted until January 7th, 1942. During the beginning of the invasion, Hitler's advances were stopped by the mud along the route to Moscow, preventing further action. But by mid-November, the mud had frozen over and allowed for further advance by Hitler. As time passed and November became December, the Russian winter was in full effect. The Germans weren't fully prepared for this drop in temperature, giving Russia the advantage. Stalin received information allowing him to pull 18 Soviet divisions out of eastern Siberia and into the west to stop Hitler. By December 5th, the German troops were more popsicle than army. Weapons were frozen, camps were frozen, even people were frozen. Germany was pushed back quite a ways, yet Stalin wanted Berlin, so he ordered his tired troops to keep attacking. This resulted in many failed attacks, and by February, Germany had counterattacked and destroyed several Russian divisions. Both sides had bitten off more than they could chew, and both sides paid dearly for it. Hitler's mistake, however, proved fatal, as he no longer had enough troops to defend the West, as the United States and Great Britain counterattacked.
The Battle of Stalingrad, which lasted from August 23, 1942 to February 2, 1943, was a major battle of World War II in which Nazi Germany and its allies fought the Soviet Union for control of the city of Stalingrad in southern Russia. This battle was the turning point in Germany's Russian invasion. The Russian armies had Germany cornered and forced their retreat, ceasing their invasion, and proving that with enough pushback, Germany can be stopped. In the Battle of Stalingrad, Soviet forces surrounded and crushed an entire German army under General Frederick Paulus. For both sides, Stalingrad became a desperate ordeal of rodent like scurrying from hole to hole.
As a survivor, how would you describe the conditions around you during the fight?
It was all close quarters. It was all hand to hand, and it was terrible, and it was probably one of the bloodiest battles in history.
This battle was, in fact, the bloodiest, with an estimated 2 million casualties. German forces never regained the initiative in the east and withdrew a vast military force from the west to replace their losses, indirectly helping the war from the war front in the west. The Germans saw the conquest of Stalingrad as essential to their campaign in southern Russia, since from this strategic point on the Volga River they could launch further assaults into the Caucasus, which would have allowed Hitler an easy path into southern Asia. The Russians were determined to defend the city as a vital industrial and transportation center. Both Joseph Stalin and Adolf Hitler understood the symbolic importance of the only city to bear the Soviet dictator's name.
After Russia defeated Germany in Stalingrad, a combined force from the United Kingdom and the United States moved in on Hitler along the newly emptied Western Front. With Russia pushing from the east and Europe and America pushing in from the west, Germany was soon sandwiched into submission, declaring victory in Europe.
It's nice of you to meet me.
That's French.
Nice of you to meet me.
we should.
As a survivor, how would you describe the conditions around you during the fight?
It was all my phones ringing.